What if I told you that confidence isn't something you're born with? It's something you build deliberately and consistently, just like a muscle. Most people believe that the confident individuals they see on stage, in meetings, or leading teams were always that way. But the truth is, confidence is a skill, not a trait. It's not some magical gift handed out to a select few at birth. It's the result of repeated action, mental discipline, and the willingness to show up even when you're unsure. Confidence is the quiet inner knowing that you can handle whatever life throws your way. It's not about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear and acting anyway. In this video, we're going to explore how you can build unstoppable confidence from the ground up. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just a proven, realistic roadmap to help you develop self-belief that sticks, even when things get hard. Let's begin by taking a deeper look at what confidence really is, because more often than not, it's misunderstood. Many people mistakenly associate confidence with arrogance, ego, or loud, flashy behavior. They think it's about being the most talkative person in the room, showing off, or trying to dominate every conversation. But that's not real confidence. That's often a mask for insecurity. True confidence is subtle. It doesn't demand attention or seek approval. It's not about being the loudest or the boldest. Instead, it's quiet, steady, and internal. It's the calm, unshakable inner voice that says, "I've got this," even when the outcome is uncertain. It's not about always knowing what to do. It's about trusting that you'll find a way forward no matter what. At its core, confidence is built on self-trust, the belief that even in the face of failure, rejection, or difficulty, you have the ability to respond, to adapt, and to grow. It's a deep inner knowing that you are capable, resilient, and resourceful. And what's even more empowering is the science behind this. Confidence is not a fixed trait. It's not hardwired into your personality at birth. Thanks to research in neuroscience, we now know that the human brain is incredibly adaptable. Through a process called neuroplasticity, the brain literally rewires itself in response to repeated behaviors, thoughts, and emotional experiences. This means you are not stuck with the level of confidence you have today. You can train yourself to become more confident, in the same way that you train your body in a gym. When you repeatedly step into situations that challenge you, whether it's speaking up, trying something new, or simply pushing past discomfort, your brain begins to shift. The circuits associated with fear and hesitation start to quiet down, while the ones linked to courage, resilience, and belief in self begin to strengthen. With every step you take outside of your comfort zone, no matter how small, your brain adapts and normalizes that behavior. Eventually, what once felt intimidating becomes familiar, even natural. Over time, confidence becomes less of a rare spark and more of your everyday default. It becomes your baseline, your new normal. So if you've ever felt like you weren't born confident, here's the truth. You don't need to be born with it. You build it. One decision, one action, one challenge at a time. Now, one of the most overlooked and powerful ways to build confidence is by simply keeping promises to yourself. Think about it. Every time you say you're going to do something and actually follow through, you're proving to yourself that your word means something. You're reinforcing that you're someone who can be counted on, not just by others, but by you. This builds self-respect. On the flip side, every time you break a promise to yourself, whether it's skipping that workout, hitting snooze for the third time, or avoiding that task you swore you'd finish, you slowly chip away at your own self-image. The damage is subtle, but it accumulates. You begin to doubt yourself. So start small. Set tiny commitments that you know you can meet, then keep them. Do it again and again. These small wins compound, and over time, they change the way you see yourself. You start becoming someone who follows through, and that's the foundation of unstoppable confidence. Another crucial factor in developing confidence is your relationship with discomfort. If you want to grow, you have to stop avoiding the uncomfortable and start seeking it out. This doesn't mean diving headfirst into terrifying situations. It means gradually expanding your comfort zone every single day. Confidence is like a muscle, and just like in fitness, you only grow when you push a little beyond what's easy. Say yes to challenges that stretch you. Speak up in situations where you'd usually stay silent. Volunteer for tasks that make your heart race. Every time you step into discomfort, you're telling your brain, "I can survive this." And over time, what once felt scary becomes normal. You build resilience, you toughen your mindset, And that inner strength, that's real confidence. Because now you're not scared of failing, you're more afraid of staying stuck. Let's talk about something even more powerful than any external technique or motivational quote: your inner voice. The way you speak to yourself on a daily basis has a massive influence on how confident you become. It's easy to overlook because it's so constant, but it's always there, shaping your beliefs, your emotions, and your behavior. Most of us have a persistent inner critic, a voice that questions our worth, our ability, and our potential. It whispers things like, "You're not good enough," "You always mess things up," or "Everyone's going to judge you if you try this." That voice might sound like your own, but it often comes from years of conditioning, from past failures, harsh criticism, or unrealistic standards set by others. The problem is, when you allow that voice to dominate, it becomes your reality. It keeps you small, it convinces you to stay quiet, to play it safe, and to avoid the very experiences that would help you grow. But here's the liberating truth. That voice is not some unchangeable truth about who you are. It's just a mental habit. And like any habit, it can be unlearned and replaced. Your inner dialogue can become your greatest weapon, not your worst enemy. The first step is awareness. Start paying attention to how you speak to yourself, especially in moments of stress, failure, or uncertainty. Literally pause when you catch that inner critic flaring up. Ask yourself honestly, would I speak to someone I care about this way? If the answer is no, then why would you speak to yourself that way? You deserve the same compassion, support, and encouragement that you'd give a close friend. Rewriting your self-talk doesn't mean faking positivity or denying your struggles. It means being a supportive inner coach rather than a destructive critic. So instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I may not know how yet, but I'm learning. I'll figure it out." That simple shift from judgment to encouragement changes your entire mental state. Confidence isn't about lying to yourself or pretending to be fearless. It's about being honest while still choosing to act. It's about saying, "Yes, I'm scared. Yes, I have doubts, but I'm going to try anyway." The way you talk to yourself in those key moments determines whether you move forward or stay stuck. And remember, your brain believes what you repeatedly tell it. If you feed it fear, self-doubt, and criticism, it will look for evidence to support those beliefs. But if you consistently feed it courage, determination, and self-belief, it will rewire itself to operate from that place instead. This inner dialogue becomes your foundation, your mindset, your internal compass, and confidence is the natural result. But here's the important part that most people miss. None of this mindset work matters without action. You can watch all the inspirational videos in the world, read the best self-help books, and repeat affirmations every morning. But if you're not doing, you're not growing. Confidence isn't something that lives in your thoughts alone. It's forged in action, through the decisions you make and the risks you're willing to take. One of the most powerful principles you can embrace is this: massive imperfect action. That means taking bold steps forward even when the path isn't clear, even when you're unsure, and especially when you're afraid. Stop waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect time, or the perfect version of yourself. That moment doesn't exist. The people you see as highly confident didn't wait until they had it all figured out. They acted first, learned along the way, and built confidence through the process. So apply for the job even if you don't meet every single qualification. Say yes to the opportunity that scares you. Launch the idea while your hands are still shaking. Speak up in the meeting even if your voice quivers. Because every time you take action in spite of your fear, you're collecting proof. Proof that you are capable, resourceful, and resilient. And the more proof your brain gathers, the more your self-image changes. Confidence becomes less of a feeling and more of a knowing. Not because someone else validated you, but because you saw yourself do the hard thing again and again. Over time, this creates an unshakable identity. Someone who trusts themselves to take action. Someone who shows up no matter what. Someone who keeps going when others hesitate. That's where real confidence is born, not from waiting, but from doing. Now let's look at your environment. Confidence isn't built in isolation. It's reinforced by the people you surround yourself with. If you're constantly around people who doubt themselves, play small, and criticize others, that energy rubs off on you. But if you surround yourself with confident, encouraging, growth-minded individuals, you begin to adopt their standards. You rise to their level. This doesn't mean you need to cut everyone out of your life, but you do need to be intentional about what voices you allow in. Follow inspiring creators, read books that challenge your thinking, join communities where people are striving for more, your confidence will grow much faster in a supportive environment than in a toxic one. Finally, one of the biggest confidence hacks is to focus on progress, not perfection. Too often, we dismiss our efforts because they weren't flawless, but confidence isn't built on perfection, it's built on momentum. Celebrate your progress. Did you wake up earlier than usual? Celebrate that. Did you speak up even though you were nervous? That's a win. Did you push through a hard task when you felt like quitting? That's growth. These small moments matter. They're the bricks that build your inner fortress. The more you recognize your growth, the more motivated you become to keep going. And before you know it, you've created a new identity, someone who believes in themselves deeply and consistently. So here's the truth. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you create every single day through small actions, through repeated effort, through choosing courage over comfort. Wherever you are right now, even if you're full of self-doubt, fear, or insecurity, you have the power to change. You have the ability to rebuild your self-image, to break through your limits, and to become the kind of person who walks into any room with quiet certainty. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the real you, the version that believes in their own worth and is willing to show up boldly. So today, keep that promise, take that step, build that habit. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent, and that's how unstoppable confidence is made.